afternoon, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. So, guess what? Today, Spicy Rose is out. She's absolutely out. So, for those of you on my channel that you like it when Spicy Rose comes out, you're going to be very, very happy today because I just watched Chantal's latest video and I have a lot to say. And I'm not going to be nice about it because why? Why be nice to Chantal? She's not a nice person. She hurts everybody and everything she comes in contact with. She's a lying liar who lies. She lies and manipulates to get her way, to get people under her control. Why should I be nice to someone like that? Anything with a heartbeat that comes within 5 feet of Chantal is negatively affected. Yeah. So what is the latest video? Well, she just put out a less than 17-minute video where the title is, Why Was I Crying Yesterday? And let me just give you guys a bit of a summary. She said that she bought a plane ticket, but she's already canceled it. So she's not leaving Kuwait. In essence, y'all, what was yesterday? What happened yesterday? In my opinion, because I don't have all the facts, I have no receipts, I think, remember that Taco Bell mukbang she did where she ate her taco and then she ate Salah's quesadilla and then she wanted donuts? I think they had a bit of a fight over her food, and Chantal did what Chantal does. She wanted to get her way, and Chantal is the kind of person that she will use any means necessary to get her way, to manipulate. And the tools in her toolbox include threatening people. This has happened in the past, by the way, as well. It's a cycle. It's a pattern. Whenever she doesn't get her way, when someone is not doing what she wants them to do, she will threaten them in some way. And one of the ways she threatened Salah is, I'm going to go back home to Canada and leave you behind, and I'm not going to support you anymore. So, theory, opinion, I think that she wanted donuts that night and he wasn't going to give it to her because she'd already eaten a lot of food. They had a bit of a fight about that. So she was in a tizzy because she couldn't get her sugar high, even though she's a diabetic and she doesn't need a sugar high. And she threatened to leave and, oh, I'm going to buy a plane ticket. And there was also talk between them about how to get some extra views and get some extra money off of her own audience, manipulating the Beezers. So yesterday's stream, where she was crying, or at least pretending to cry, taking the tissue and digging it into her eye socket, trying to make herself cry because she wasn't really sad. It was a money grab. Straight up, it was a money grab. It was dry begging. She had even said in the live stream, I just need your support. She did not say in that live stream, look, guys, I don't need your money. I just need your emotional support. Never did she make that statement, ever. Because she wanted the money. She was counting on the fact that she has a whole bunch of new Beezers in her audience that don't know her lore, that don't know her patterns, that they would be gullible enough to give up their money. And I will say something positive for the Beezers. She didn't make a whole lot of money with that stream. She made $26 and probably less than that after you take out taxes and YouTube's 30%. So she thought she could come online, spin this, what does Amberlyn Reed call it? A hootenberry? This great big yarn, this great big lie, and people would just buy it and she would make hundreds of dollars in super chats. She stayed on just long enough to see if it would work. It didn't, and then she left. So she didn't get what she wanted, didn't get the desired effect. This is all end of the month stuff. We've been here before. Usually the last 2 weeks of the month, she kicks it up a notch. If anybody remembers the last time she was in Canada, she pulled this exact same stunt. Same stunt, different tactics. When she was in Canada, she told people, I have to get a house here and I don't have anything. And the Beezers sent her money. Same deal, different tactics. She was in Kuwait saying, I just got my plane ticket. I don't know what I'm doing, but I got to figure it out. Playing on people's sympathy. For any Beezers that come over here to my channel, let me tell you about something that happened. Please lean in and listen carefully. And you can do your own homework and your own research if you wish. And I encourage you to do so to be more educated and informed about the woman that you are subscribed to. Please look up Cuba Rage. Look specifically for that because there was a moment in Cuba Rage. This was during a time when Chantal had lots of money. And because she had lots of money and lots of Beezers and lots of VIBs, she was very, 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 very arrogant to the point where she took the mask off and she showed what a manipulator and a liar she is because she felt, even if I tell them how awful I am, they'll stick around. She made the statement, and again, do your homework if you don't believe me. It's okay if you don't believe me. I'm a reactor to Chantal. She's already put ideas in your head. Feel free to do your own homework. But Chantal actually said to her audience that, I'm going to manipulate the F out of you. Talking to her audience, I'm going to manipulate the F out of you. And then I'm going to come online the next day and be sweet as pie, and you're going to eat it up. So she even said to her own audience, yes, I am manipulative and I lie. And because you guys are so addicted to me, you'll just let me get away with it because you're just that stupid. That's basically what she was saying. And she counts on the fact that she's got people in her audience that care for her. And no matter what, they're going to be there. But everybody has their tolerance level, you see. Everybody has that line. And once you cross that line, you push people too far, they disappear. She doesn't care. Despite the fact that her health is failing, despite the fact that she cannot replenish her list of Beezers as quickly as she used to, despite the fact that she's not getting as many VIB signups as she used to, and she's in dire straits. Like you guys are going to see with the stuff that I found on Twitter. One of the main reasons why she's not going home is because she doesn't have a home base. She can't run back to the villa. It no longer exists. She's got no plan B, and that's her fault because she didn't make herself one. So she's sticking with Salah because she put herself in a corner and she never bothered to create a way out. And no sympathy for Chantal. She did that to herself. But I am sick of the lies. I am so sick of them. And I'm just going to let it all out. So Chantal, I know you're going to watch this video. And if you hear me getting angry, it's not because of your weight. Your weight is your issue to deal with or not deal with as you see fit. It's your body. You do with it as you please, even if you cause it immense amount of harm, which you are. The anger that you're going to hear from me today is about just you spreading misinformation on the internet, you lying to people and thinking that you're smarter than everybody else in the room. Honestly, ma'am, I think you should be institutionalized. You're a danger to yourself and you're a danger to other people. You are a public menace. You are. And you have no self-control. You have no impulse control. You are hurting your body. You're hurting your health. You're not going to stop. You're deep into your food issue. You're in so deep you can't see daylight. And you've got enablers online and in person that are keeping that going. You need to be put somewhere where people can tell you no and straighten this thing out. But you will never do it because you want to live the way you want to live. You don't want anybody telling you no, not even your own body when it's sitting there screaming for help. and it can't take any more. So do as you will, ma'am. Do as you will. But this is not about the extra pounds. This is not about the shape of your body. This is not about the clothing sizes you wear. It's about the lies, Chantal. People hate it when you lie to them. People hate it when you tell lies. But you are, and have always been, the lying liar who lies. So before I go off on Chantal in her video, let's go to all the stuff on Twitter, y'all, because warning, there might be some bad language in this react. I just don't care. YouTube can take their monetization and shove it today. I just don't care. I want to be able to say what I want to say without code words. They can keep their money today. I got another job. So it's like, I don't care. Take your little bit of money and shove it, YouTube. I don't give a crap. Like this is all like, I want freedom of speech. I'm going to use my freedom of speech, and that's just it. All right. All right, gentlemen. Hey, how you doing? Let's get started, y'all, with the stuff on Twitter. And big thank you to all the lovely people on Twitter. Okay, where are we starting first? Great. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter and you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Wow Girl Sarah. Let's start here with Ruth Langmore saying, a lot of girl world has gotten so good at spotting her Dupers delight, and I love that for Cutie. This biatch literally gets off online to people who care about her, and yeah, people just hate you because you're big. No, it has nothing to do with her size. There is another YouTuber that's Chantal's size or maybe a little bit bigger, Hungry Fat Chick, that she does mukbangs. Does anybody notice? Nobody in girl world goes after Candy. And she's a super morbidly obese woman. Do you know why girl world leaves her alone? Because she's upfront with what she does. She seems like a nice person. She comes on camera. She eats her food. She doesn't bring the drama with her. Girl world has nothing to say about Candy. And that is her name, Candy. I was reacting to Candy for a little bit when she started on her health journey, and I had to actually stop because I couldn't do it anymore. I felt so sad that I was so happy when she was stopping the mukbangs, and she really did try. But I don't know, something with the money, and she had to go back, and I felt so sad. I'm like, I just want to give her a hug, and talk to her. Like I felt a sense of empathy for Candy, but I don't feel that for Chantal. I really don't. But if it were about the weight, why wouldn't Girl World go after her? So apparently it's not about the weight. It's about the problematic behavior and the lying and the manipulating and just being evil in general. So that's it. But yeah, as far as Chantal and her little Dupers delight in her behaviors, she's really not that hard to figure out. She thinks that she's smarter than all of us, but she is so incredibly predictable. She never changes her habits. She doesn't change herself. She is the same person she was a while ago, exactly the same. She hasn't changed over the last 4 or 5 years. It just, the lying is the same. The duping is the same. The smirking is the same. It's all the freaking same. Yeah, we all called it yesterday, Chantal. Did that make you angry? You said you were going live after the first live. I bet I know what you did. You got off live and then you ran around YouTube and Twitter to see if people bought your lies. Did it make you angry that we didn't? Well, we didn't buy it because we know you too well. We've been here before, many times. Mama Whale says, love how she didn't talk about how much she loves her husband. No, she talks about how she doesn't have an apartment, car, or pets to go back to in Canada and has those things available to her in Kuwait. She talked about how much work it is to start over, that she's not up for that. Like I said, the only reason why she's not in Canada right now, beyond the fact that she could not take Salah with her and she looks at Salah as a possession, like you would an object, she has no home base. And her bankruptcy's on her record. And she can't go get an apartment because they would require first and last month's They're going to see her bad credit. They're going to look at her as a high risk. The only way around that would be to have somebody sign as a guarantor for the rent, that if she doesn't pay it, they'll pay it. Or if she has a tremendous amount of money in the bank and could put down at least a few months worth of rent all at once, then maybe the landlord might give her a nod of approval. But she doesn't have any of that. Speaking of rent, Chantal, can we talk? I got a question. Hold on. So, question for you, Chantal. If your husband pays for everything, wouldn't that mean that you've got money stacked up? I mean, it's been 2 years. If you weren't paying for everything, shouldn't you have a tremendous amount of money stacked up, untouched, because he's being the husband and he's paying for everything? If you had money stacked up, you could go home right now and get yourself a place. I mean, what, 50, 60 grand? Shoot. Whatever it is you would have stacked up by now, you could get a place, no problem. The fact that you're sweating bullets over getting a 1-bedroom or a studio, spending 5 grand is making you sweat. That tells me you don't have much. You're broke. You're absolutely broke. So it's not about, I love Salah, I love my husband. It's about, you don't have anywhere else to go. That's why you didn't stay in Canada the last time. You looked at the situation and you said to yourself, okay, I'm paying for a place back in Kuwait. And I want a place in Canada, but the one person by themselves, it's a lot of money I don't have. So you ran back to the home that you did have. Because when you were in Canada, you stayed with your parents, but they only let you sleep on the couch. They kicked you out in the morning because they don't trust you. They don't want to come home and the pantry is empty and the fridge is empty and there's a mess and the place has been doxed. They gave you just enough wiggle room to where you could sleep on the couch at night, but in the morning you had to go and get in the Kia and go do your streaming. You were essentially spinning your wheels because even with the Kia, you could not bees the way you wanted to. To do that, you need a room of your own and to be left alone. But you weren't getting that in Canada, although you could have rented a motel room, which you did not because you're cheap and stupid like that. So you ran back to Kuwait because in Kuwait, you had a room to bees in. You could order the food. You could do what you wanted. You had an already set up human hamster cage. You could go back to Canada right now and figure it out, but you don't want to. And you're so stupid. Salah's got you convinced that you should stay there. You don't get it, do you? You're such a big, stupid idiot. Salah is such a greedy, stupid fool that if you got a dime, dollar, or nickel in your pocket, he wants it. And if something happened to you, he would take the money out of your pocket and bolt. Like he's waiting for something to happen, Chantal. And you're probably going to look at this video and go, you're a hater. You're wishing for something to happen. No, ma'am. You're wishing for something to happen. You are. You're over there with high blood sugar and diabetes and all of that on 6 different medications and insulin. And you're sitting there doing mukbang. So who's wishing what upon whom? You're the one doing the self-harm content. You're doing the mukbangs when you know you shouldn't. How am I affecting your health if I'm all the way over here thousands of miles away and you're the one with yourself knowing what you should do, you refuse to do it, and you're literally playing Russian roulette with plates of food? But hey, it's your life. Do what you want. Do what you want. You created the corner that you cannot pivot out of. You did that to yourself. You can't look at Girl World. We didn't put you there. We didn't tell you to go there. As a matter of fact, a lot of us said, don't go there, Chantal. You didn't want to listen because you thought you knew best. Well, apparently you don't. Apparently you don't know what's best for you. You're the worst person to make decisions that way. D Angry Scott says, so Salah gave in, got her donuts from Tim Hortons, so she wouldn't leave. What a baby and manipulator, or threaten ending her supposed happy marriage because you're an adult who never learned to manage your food problem. Yeah, so isn't that funny? During the Taco Bell live she did, when they seem to be getting along just fine, isn't it funny that she mentioned wanting donuts? And then the next day, the whole I'm leaving thing happened. And then today, she just completed a live where she went out and got donuts. Could it be because the fight was over donuts? I want donuts. No, you're not going to have them. I'm leaving. Yeah, that's so Chantal. That is so her. She wanted her sweets. She threatened to leave. She even went so far as to get a plane ticket and then cancel it because she wanted to show Salah, I'm serious. I'm serious. I bought a plane ticket. You better uh, relent to me and do as I say. She's done this numerous times to Salah. Numerous times. Like if he doesn't give in to her, give her the food, she will threaten him to leave. I don't know why that would be a bad thing for him. Right now, she's literally a liability. Like her health has gotten just that bad. She's a walking liability. But for whatever reason, he doesn't want her to go back. He won't let her go back. Stupid. DX on Twitter says, and this is just a recap from DX, says she just needed to hear that Salah loved her. Ugh. Says she was having kind of panic attack yesterday. Wishes she hadn't booked the flight, but she canceled it an hour later. I don't want to be ignorant here. Okay. I've never really had a panic attack. So please forgive me, but I'm just giving my thoughts. I looked at the video, the live that Chantal did. Again, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. I mean no offense, but Chantal looked completely calm in that live. Like she sat there. I didn't see her hyperventilating or anything like that. She looked very calm. She was sitting there being manipulative and like trying to force some tears out, despite the fact she wasn't really sad. She was smirking. So how in the world did she have a panic attack if she's sitting there smirking and calm as a cucumber? She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew why she was doing it. It was sad fishing with a purpose. She was trying to get money out of people. And she says in the video, oh, I never asked for money. Listen, y'all, when it comes to liars, con artists, and manipulators, there are ways of getting things without outright asking. As a matter of fact, the con artist, the scammer, the grifter would rather not ask, because if they don't ask and you give it to them, you can't come back later and say, you lied to me, you scammed me. Their defense is going to be, well, I never asked you for anything. Did I come out and ask you for something? You gave it to me. They'll flip it on you. So again, remember when she was in Canada and she was back in Canada saying she needs to get stuff for her place and people were sending her money on PayPal. She did that. And then she didn't end up staying. And now, different tactic, same purpose, getting online saying, I need you guys' support. But you never said, guys, the support I need is emotional. Don't send me money. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is all emotional manipulation for a reason. Yeah. So dry begging the audience. She was probably hoping, she and Salah both, who, by the way, he was deleting comments in that live. He was there. They weren't broke up. His stuff was even in the apartment. You could see it behind her with the keyboard. But they were hoping for like a big grift. And big ups to you, Breezers. You guys didn't fall for it. She didn't get what she really wanted. She tried it, though. Yes, she did. She tried it. She honestly tried it. Didn't work, though. But now, where we are, is she's looking for outrage from the reaction channel. She's looking for outrage with the girl world. She might even be looking for outrage with her own audience. And she's hoping that will mean extra views because it's near the end of the month. She's kicking it up a notch. She's right on time. Right on time. You can set your watch by Chantal. Sure can. Okay, so moving on to Queen of WTF. She's got her snacks. All is right in the world. Yep, she got her donuts. That's what she wanted. She wanted her donuts. She's going to threaten to leave Kuwait if you don't give her donuts, Salah. Yup says, so did Foodie Beauty do all this for butt pats and super chats? Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. And also to manipulate Salah, she got on her channel and said, I'm going home. Look, Salah, I got my plane ticket. I mean it. I will go to the airport and leave you behind and you'll get no more money. So he's giving her whatever she wants. Attention, food. She is an addict who is manipulative, and no shade on anybody who is an addict, because not everybody is like this, but if you have an addiction for something, it could teach you to lie and be manipulative for the sake of the addiction and keeping it going and keeping it fed. Not saying that whoever the addict is a bad person. It's just that if you've got this thing about you that has taken over your life, consumed you, you'll find ways to get what you want, even if what you want is bad for you. And she's a serious food addict. Like, food is everything to her. Nobody's going to keep her from it. She will manipulate everybody in front of her, beside her, behind her to get what she wants. No one's going to tell her no. This has been going on for years. And it will continue. I mean, she said it herself. She's going to eat until she passes away. And I believe her. I really do. Girl War Lurker says, when you are crying because you are leaving your pet behind and keeping an eye on the chat at the same time, the BS and manipulation of it all, credit French Fry Girl, so credit to Frenchie. Yes, all pets are replaceable for this animal blanker. Only there for attention that any pets will do. Yeah, look at that picture. Y'all look. Look. She's wiping at her eye, but she's got one eye on the chat. Yep. Sure is. Look at that. Look where her eyeball is. Looking at the chat. You're really sad. You're not looking at the chat. You don't even want to talk to anybody. You don't want to. Foop Olympic says, girl, if you don't get your big butt out of my face with this crap. So here we go. Emotionally manipulative. Look at the thumbnail of what we're about to review. Why I was crying yesterday. That is emotionally manipulative. Am I good enough? Self-doubt. We've all struggled at some point with thinking, am I good enough as a person? Am I good enough in what I'm doing? And we've all had self-doubt. She put those two things on her thumbnail for that purpose, because a lot of people can relate to those feelings. So she's emotionally drawing people in. That's why she did it. And then look at the picture, looking down like, oh, woe is me. I'm doubting myself. Am I good enough? Once again, I'd like to remind people what she said in Cuba. She said with her whole chest, I will manipulate the F out of you. And then I'll come online tomorrow and be sweet as pie and you'll eat it up. Yeah. That's basically what she said verbatim. She's such a manipulator. She's so uncaring of other people and how she affects them that she will confess to her evil and not give a crap, because she looks at the people in her audience as suckers. And the sad part is some of them are unfortunately suckers and they believe every word she says. But I will say sometimes Beezers, they wake up. They get smart, they leave. Which brings up another point. Beezers, listen. You don't like Girl World. We don't like a lot of you guys either. Because there's a lot of people in Chantal's audience. You guys are straight feeties. You got that feedie fetish, and you're basically encouraging Chantal to eat. And if that's not the case, there are people in Chantal's audience that know about her food issue, and they talk about food with her, which, even as a member of Girl World, even as a reactor, I must say that is completely fucked up. Do you understand me? It is fucked up to sit there and talk about the source of somebody's addiction with them, especially while their addiction is raging out of control and they are so close to having a hospital visit or going to the morgue. That is so messed up. I don't like Chantal. She's evil. But I would never prompt an addict into their addiction. I would never trigger them to their addiction, but a lot of you do. Maybe you got food issues of your own. Maybe you got problems of your own, but you're supercharging an addict to do their addiction in front of you, to get high in front of you, to get their fix in front of you. And that is just so completely messed up. And she's looking for broken people on YouTube. She's looking for people with issues. She's looking for people who are not strong. She's looking for people that are weak. She's looking for people that maybe they've got mental issues. Maybe they've got physical issues. Maybe they got food issues. She's looking for the broken dolls to put on her shelf and to make loyal to her and make those people feel like they're part of a group and that they're welcome. She's not looking for strong, independent people with a sense of common sense, because those people she cannot manipulate. She's looking for those of you in the audience that are broken, that you will become as addicted to her as she is to food. Facts. She's a weak person looking for weaker people to manipulate, lie to, and take advantage of. This is who this woman is, and this is who she's always been. Do you understand? Thank you. Now, moving on. A Chicken and Duck says, in other words, she was mad at Salah that he wouldn't bring her food. She threatened to leave. He love bombed her in return, and she agreed to stay. Unlimited fast food incoming. Yep. And this is from DX. DX says, I don't have time for this person. So the TLDR is that she bought a ticket and already decided she's not going. So there's the thumbnail once again. And she showed this. I have questions. Could this be from before? Like, I don't know. I don't really see a date or anything. Like, a lot of stuff has been scratched off. Is this recent, or could this be just something to fool us all that, like, could this be something from before that she's just reusing him? To further recap the video, DX says she's not leaving him. We're not going to disrespect him on her channel. She's not watching comments, but apparently saw people calling her a scammer. She's going to try to mature. Says she doesn't have anything to go back to in Canada and doesn't want to stay with her mom. Well, basically, she's saying, I'm a loser because even though I made thousands of dollars on YouTube, I put myself in this corner that I am now in. It's my fault. And now I don't know how to get out of it. By her own hand. That's basically what she's saying. That she's broke and she can't figure this out. Florida Salt and Sass says she really effed up her life, all to brag she had a man. She was making good money and had a nice place back with Pete's. She screwed herself and her rental husband wouldn't screw her. Yeah, I said that. I said that yesterday. Pete's honestly does care for her, even to this day. He could expose all her dirty secrets, all her filthy tea. He could have a tea party, lay out the teacups, bring out the tea, pour us all a cup, and we would listen. He's known her for 17 years. He knows about all her lies, all of her manipulation. Pete could sit down right now, make a series of tell-all videos on Chantal, just go full scorched earth on her, and just lay into her and make tons of money. He would make bank. We would listen, and there wouldn't be a doggone thing she could do about it. And honestly, it would be deserved for the way that she cheated on him repeatedly, for the fact that she put him in debt more than once, including the damages to the villa that I'm sure he's still paying for. Like, whatever he would do would be deserved. But he's loyal to a fault, and he's kept his mouth shut because there's a part of Pete that he loves her so much that he's waiting for her to come back. It's so incredibly sad, but she is his favorite person, and he's not going to flip on her. He's giving her something that she never gave him, a sense of love and loyalty. But you had Pete, Chantal. You had real love in the house. You had the cats. You gave up the real for the fake. You gave up diamonds for cubic zirconia. All because the cubic zirconia sparkled a little more that day. You're an idiot. Queen of WTF says, I don't know. I feel like something happened with Salah, a fight where she found something out and it was over. But as we have seen in the past, she will never leave a man. She will always stay. Yeah, nobody escapes Chantal. This woman is a predator. And once she pays for you, once she spent money on you, or she's created you a channel and she's filmed content for you, that is it. Everything she does for somebody, it's not out of generosity. Like, you don't owe me. No. Everything she does, she remembers. And if you don't do what she wants you to do, she's going to hold it over your head. I did this for you, and I did that for you, and you should be grateful. Every single good deed, because she's not a good person, it is so against her original nature. It is so foreign to her that for her, it feels like something extraordinary, like something she would normally do. And because it's something she would normally do or normally feel, that person should owe her big time. Because she doesn't normally clean her own house, if she cleans somebody else's house, oh, you should be really grateful because I never do this, even for myself. I mean, that's her thinking. It's literally her thinking. She's so lacking in goodness that as she shows it, even on a fake level, you're going to have to pay for it. And it becomes a weapon in her hand when she gets mad. She's doing it with Salah. I'm sure she brings up every single thing she's done for Salah, everything. Perfectly Imperfect says, when you value a donut more than your own life, Owen Shmee, she finds more value in this donut than you. Remember that. Yep. Yeah, not caring about her family. If something happens to her, not caring about the family, not caring about them at all. Like, look, this picture from Tofu. I mean, diabetic. Her blood sugar is 2 to 3 times as normal. And this is what she does. Beezers, take a look at this picture. Take a look at it now. Come on. I know this is hard, but look at it. Like, do you need anything else to show you that she does not care about her health? Don't listen to her empty promises. Chantal's famous for those. Look at this picture. I mean, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Do I have to really say anything? She's on 6 different medications. She's on insulin, and she's over here eating a donut. Hey, Chantal, I know you watch my videos. I know you don't want to think about the possibilities of what could be, but something you should be aware of. If your kidneys go kaput, and they're incredibly damaged right now, at your current size and your weight, you would probably need to be in dialysis for a good 10, 12, 14 hours to clean your blood. You'd be sitting in that chair that long, all day, every other day. Yeah. I'm not joking. If you want, check it out yourself. They go by body weight. The bigger you are, the longer it takes to clean your blood. Normally, it's like 6 to 8 hours. For someone of your size, it would take 10, 12, 14 hours. You're going to be there a while. Yes, you will. So if you don't like the idea of sitting in a dialysis chair for basically the entire day, I would put that donut away. I really would. Perfectly Imperfect says, looks like Tracy got blocked because she already deleted these comments. Way to destroy your channel. Tracy posted, the way you were talking in the video, is that it was not going to work out between you and Salah? And then Tracy said, JCC, Chantal. So Tracy got blocked. Go ahead, Chantal, delete your regular viewers. They won't be coming back if they got half a brain cell in their head. Danny Howlight says, so Foodie Beauty blocked her regular supporters for insulting Salah. Wow, even the regulars are fed up. Well, it's about time. It's about time they got fed up. Listen, let them learn. Let them learn. You know what, Chantal? For as much as you hate Girl World, you sure work really hard to increase our audience members. You know that? I can't figure it out, Mama. That why you like to help us increase our audience. You're not doing any kind of interesting content over there. You're not taking care of your health. You're hateful to your own beezers. You make empty promises to them. You lie to them. You manipulate them. And then after a while, they get fed up and then they're part of Girl World. You really work hard to increase the reaction side of this whole ecosystem that's going on. You're not doing anything to endear yourself to people, to make them loyal to you. You're doing absolutely everything wrong. You are tanking your own channel. Ma'am, you are the tower and you are falling. But like blocking your own supporters because you chose to get online and tell people I'm going home, da 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 da, and my health and da 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 da, and then you take it all back. That's why, Girl World, we don't believe you anymore. We're like, let's wait and see. We'll see what happens. You know, we know you. We know you better than you know yourself. Fupalina Dankness, hey Dank Fupa, says she booked a ticket but canceled it and lost money on it. Something is incredibly fishy here. You know, I tend to not believe that. I think that's strange. Like, why would she spend all that money and then cancel it? Like, she doesn't have enough money to do that. So I'm calling BS on that. Lime Jello says she's crying more over leaving Julia behind than she ever did when she abandoned BBJ and Sam. Cats that she had for years. F off, Chantal. She doesn't care about Julia. She will put her out on the street in a hot minute. Julia is a street cat that she just got because it looked like BBJ and she wanted to get extra views out of that, and it didn't quite work. D. Angry Scott says, is it keeping to Islamic faith to repeatedly threaten to end your marriage with your husband and leave him over him not agreeing to support your food addiction, gluttony, aka a sin? Religion aside, this is a telltale sign that someone is emotionally abusive in a relationship. She even confessed to that. She said, I am emotionally abusive. I believe that she's emotionally abusive to Salah. And she picked him on purpose because maybe there was a little bit of a language barrier, and also because there being a language barrier, he didn't understand the extent of her problem, and she used that to her advantage. Like, again, she's a predator and manipulator, and she's a weak person looking for weaker people to lie to get one over, and so she does. Mo Translate says Chantal's latest upload is her admitting she's impulsive, she's not going to Canada, and it was a petty argument with Salah. And she doesn't know why people are calling her a scammer when she didn't ask for a single dime from anyone. Let's watch.
My flight, we can take care of ourselves. Thank you very much. I didn't ask anybody for anything. Oh, it's a visa run scam. I don't know how a visa run is a scam. I don't know why people are so obsessed with whenever, if I have to travel, what my visa status is.
And again, I just want to say this again. I don't want to be too repetitive, but when you're a scammer, when you're a con artist, you figure out different ways to scam, whether it's asking somebody outright for money or whatever it is you need, or working your way around it. You know, putting things out there without the request as a means to get what you want. Let me give you a common scam tactic. because like I've had scammers in my life, and this is how it would usually go. That person would call you on the phone, and red flag, if the person you're talking to, they never talk to you. Like you're not close with this person. And then out of the blue, they call you for like no random reason. So you get on the phone with them, hello, and they're like, hi, how are you? And they might do a couple of minutes of chit chat. And then you say, as a caring friend, well, how are you? How are things? Well, I got behind in my rent, or I got behind with my car payment, and I'm looking at an eviction, or I don't know what I'm going to do. They're putting their problems out there, and they're saying it's very serious. I could lose my home. I could lose my car. I could lose whatever. They are putting all their stuff on your plate. And if you are an emotional person, if you're a caring person, what they're hoping for in that emotional sad fishing is that you'll feel bad for them and you'll help them out in some way, whether it's giving them part of the money for what they need or all of the money or offering some kind of help. They are fishing. They just tossed out the hook and they're looking for you to bite. So Chantal's done this at least a couple of times. When she went to Canada, she was in Canada and she tossed out the hook saying, I got to get a place and I don't have anything, even though that's her responsibility. And then she's in Kuwait. Same thing, different tactics, just worded differently. She got online and she did not tell people, I don't need your money. I just need emotional support. No, she said, I really need your support. And she didn't specify, because if she specified, she might get in trouble for it. Again, walking around the block to get what you want. But throwing all of her problems on the table, hoping that there are sympathetic, concerned, caring people that will rush to her aid. And indeed, there were people in her audience saying, do you need help with Julia? We can pay for it. Just let us know your PayPal. That's exactly what she was looking for. She is the P.T. Barnum of YouTube, looking for those suckers in the audience. But she's like, I didn't ask for anything. Oh, yes, you did. You didn't specify what kind of support you were looking for. You're hoping for a certain kind. And big ups to the Beezers for not like loading her down with super chats. Maybe some of you guys are you're learning over there.
But I really don't get that. So I'm just going to ignore my flight.
And shut up. You're a lying liar who lies. Be quiet. Queen of WTF says, so she can't go back because she doesn't have a car, house, and she can't leave her pets. Doesn't really mention that she loves her husband and that she wants to make it work. Yeah, like she's a narcissist. Me. It's all about me. What's going on with me? Concerned about me. If you are really married to Salah, he was really married to you, you think about each other, you consider each other. But if you're still in that single woman brain, you think about yourself. So thank you for confirming, Chantal. It's not really a marriage, although we didn't need any confirmation. Janet from Another Planet says Chantal is pulling her usual crap like last time. If she goes to Canada, it'll be to renew the visa, get food, possibly financial help, gifts, and then dip because her and Salah work things out. Same crap every 3 months. Okay. Hold on a second, my stupid phone. Sorry about that. Florida Salt and Sass said, rule number 1, this is why I constantly say she's not as stupid as you all think. She's not particularly intelligent, but you don't have to be a decent, you don't have to be a decent manipulator with enough practice. I've said that. And Chantal has said that. I'm not as stupid as you guys think. True, she's not smart in a lot of ways. But if you practice something enough over the course of many years, you get good at it. You have to get good at it. Like just doing the same thing over and over and over again for many years. Eventually you get good at it. And you don't have to have an IQ of 200 for that to happen. So she's not smart in a lot of ways. But when it comes to being a liar, a manipulator, a scammer, she is somewhat good at that. She's not the best because after pulling the scam, she doesn't do what she needs to do to take care of herself. So like the other half is missing. but she knows what she's doing. And I'm not going to play this clip from Natter because we're not going to give him any press. Mrs. Floopa Booty says, "Ooh, I think I stumbled across a Chantal script." And this, I read this and this is so Chantal. Y'all look at this. Like, how many times have we been through this? Pay attention, Chantal. You say that we don't know you. Look, somebody actually wrote it down. Pay attention, witch. So number 1, go to Canada during a breakup, visa run. 2, get high as blank, eat tons of fast food, live stream from a rental car, or borrow the Kia bag from Uncle Phyllis. 3, tell Salah to join the chat and a live stream say, "I miss you, babe." 4, give forlorn stare into the camera. 5, ERBs to get blood sugar down after gorging on junk. 6, collect gifts from Shmi. 7, ask Shmi to cut her toenails. 8, go live and tell everyone I'm going back to Kuwait. 9, say the health care there is better, cost of living is lower, and you miss your family. 10, say Salah isn't the problem, I am because I'm impulsive. 11, get a new tourist visa. 12, vlog the trip back to Kuwait. 13, sit in the fart box for 3 months and eat. 14, repeat steps 1 through 13. That's how it's been for 2 years. Exactly. I mean, that was just spot on. Well done. Well done. Mrs. Floopa Booty, I don't know if you did this or you found this, but I love this. This is so her pattern. And Chantal's probably ticked off right now watching my video because she's like, doggone it, they got me figured out. Girl, you're not that hard. You got a script and you follow it to the letter and you never deviate. You're so dumb. Mo Translates says the extra smugness proves that's exactly what happened. Let's watch.
Even a topic. So no, I manipulated Salah because he wouldn't let me eat what I want. What?
Look at that face like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, that's exactly what you did. Girl, you were yelling and screaming for donuts 3 days ago. And you were going to have them, doggone it. If you can't have $3 in donuts, you were going to spend $2,000 on a plane ticket and leave. How dumb are you? Because you're not giving me a $3 donut, I'm going to go home. Good, go home. You need to go home anyway. You want a donut so bad? Why don't you leave the apartment, walk your butt down to someplace that makes donuts and get your own? Why can't you do that? Nope, you're mad at him because he's not going to bring it to you.
Where's the proof of that? That wasn't even a topic.
What the proof? Because we know you. This is so you manipulative witch. This is how you operate. This is how you've been for years. You manipulated your family, your friends, Pete's, everybody. This is what you do because you're a gigantic toddler.
Topic. So no. People just pull things out of their ass with no proof of anything. So.
By the way, Chantal, let's talk about Salah for a minute. Listen, you guys are both scam artists. And because you're both scam artists and liars, and more than likely you lied to each other from the jump, I'm sure you were a bigger liar than he was to you, although it could have been equal. He hates you. Do you understand? He hates you. Now, you're going to say that I'm hateful for saying that, but follow me here. You are a burden. You are an insecure, jealous boss. You are the employer, but even as an employer, he's the employee. You go too far. And you try to tell him what to do and where to go on his personal time, even when he's not on the clock. You are a burden. To do the content that you want to do with him, he's got to consider so many things, like taking you somewhere where it's deserted and nobody else can be around. And just, you are a burden. And now, not only are you a burden, but you're also a liability. Something medical could happen to you. And the money keeps dropping. You're not making the money you used to. It's gone down a lot. So you got to know he's looking at you and saying, man, the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. I can't even justify it anymore, putting up with her temper tantrums and her screaming and wanting food. I can't justify this. I can't say I'm putting up with all of this because, like, whatever money you're giving him, I'm sure he could go out and make it at a regular job and not have to put up with the nonsense and have his friends back, have a social life. You expect him to sit in the fart box and do nothing because that's what makes you happy. But that's not what makes him happy. Do I feel sympathy for him? No, he signed on for this. He had at least 4 or 5 chances to get away. He did not. But I'm pretty certain he would love it if you went home to Canada right now. He's been waiting for the Kuwaiti government or something to just fix this to where he gets his life back. But put yourself in his shoes. Would you have fun with you? If you were active and you could do things, would you be any fun? Like every time you turn around, you got to go get food every 2 or 3 hours, hospital visits, clinic visits, getting the meds, uh, spending time with someone who acts immature. I mean, you're not fun. You're not fun. You're just a pest that pays the bills. Yup says, if Foodie Beauty cared about keeping her channel, Hugbox, alive, she'd realize that manipulating her beezers by constantly crying wolf is hardly a way to achieve that. All Foodie's doing is ensuring her channel's demise. Yep, let her do it. Let her bring down her own tower. It's okay. Perfectly Imperfect said, imagine coming on live and saying your marriage wasn't what you expected and you had more self-respect than to stay in said marriage. Then turn around the next day and yell at people who call you out on your own words. This is gaslighting. Yeah, we'll get to that live later. I want to cover the video. D. Angry Scott says, so this is just 16 minutes of Foodie spinning lies about how she was just feeling insecure when her marriage, and not that she publicly stated that she was leaving her husband because he wouldn't give her donuts. This is part of the problem. Your audience is not your therapist. Let's watch.
I'm feeling a lot better today. I just wanted to update you guys on where I last left you. First, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you Beezers, all of you guys who were there to pick me up when I was feeling down. I do use my platform for that. Like sometimes.
Yeah, and you shouldn't do that. Chantal, you've been doing the online YouTube therapy for years. Has anything happened? Have there been any breakthroughs? You using that method? No, because the people that are in your audience are not actual therapists and you are not their patient. You need one-on-one attention, a real therapist with training. But you will never get it because that would mean you have to take some of your mukbang money and pay for something that is not a mukbang. You don't want to pay someone to help you. You want other people to pay for the privilege of listening to you, even though you've got nothing interesting to say. You've been doing this for years. You don't want therapy. You want a hug box. Yes, men. How's that going for you? The situation's getting far worse. But it's wrong for you to get on your channel and dump on people. I'm sure there are people in your audience, they have their lives, their problems. They come on YouTube to escape. And you're being a disrespectful bitch, coming online and dumping all of your crap every day on their shoulders. They can't do anything for you. They can't solve your problems. They can't solve your addiction. They can't put you in rehab, nothing. You just want to vent. And you also have your channel up, in my opinion, as a means to exert power over Salah. You have a public forum, and you are not afraid to abuse it, to use it as a means to threaten or intimidate others, whether it's somebody in your audience or Pete or Salah. That's probably why he keeps you in Kuwait, because he's afraid if you go home to Canada, you'll talk. And his family, they might get talked about. He might get talked about. Like, you basically, you keep people close to you, not because you really care, because you want to have power over them.
You know, sometimes you just need some support from people and just talk it out. And I always say that, like, I kind of use my platform in a way as therapy, with being careful too.
Yeah, you should, like, but you shouldn't use the YouTube as that. It's not a therapy platform. It's not. You're using it as therapy because you want to get paid for people to listen to you. You're too cheap. You won't pay for some of the things that could help you.
To still respect a lot of my privacy, where I can. I think we all know I'm impulsive.
See, here's the problem, Chantal. If you did things the right way, if you went to a therapist, you can go to an actual therapist. You could talk about your health issues in private. And you could be Chantal doing it, not Foodie Beauty. You know, shift back to who you were before YouTube. Like, get down to the heart of the matter. You could talk about anything you wanted to a therapist, and it's patient uh, therapist confidentiality. Like, what's discussed in private stays private. You could talk about anything you wanted and nobody else would know, but you don't want to do things the proper way. You want everybody to know your business. You want to make money off all your business. And then you get mad at Girl World for commenting about the things you tell us about. So if you don't want that, then do things the proper way. Do things the right way, the way they should be done. Let's see. Truth Seeker says her previous live they exposed themselves to, in fact, a visa run. Salah said if this was a visa run, it would be around the 26th at the end of the month. It's the 17th today, and she said the other stream she was leaving soon. Yeah, we'll look. We'll find out. We will find out. We will. Yup says, so basically every time Foodie Beauty has a fight with Scatman, she threatens to divorce and return to Canada. Got it. Yep. You pretty much nailed it. You pretty much nailed it. Let's see. Oh, here you go, Foodie. Here's a blast from the past. Lisa, take it or leave it. This is back in the Villa days. Just to think a few years ago, Chantal was moving into a clean villa with Pete, who actually cares about her, making a decent living and starbeezing. Unreal. Way to F yourself over, girl. Yeah, remember back in these days, Chantal, you could be yourself. You didn't have to be something completely opposite to you, with a guy who actually cared, who would actually kiss you. Remember that? He would do more than just pinch your cheek. Remember that? Yeah, I remember that. So that's it for the catch up with Twitter. Man, that took a while. Sorry about that. But the video itself is not that long, so it's all good. It's all good. I just had a lot to say today. Hope that's okay. All right, let's go over the lying liar who lies. Because I'm going to go off on this bitch.
Cooked one. I'm feeling a lot better today. I just wanted to update you guys on where I last left you. First, I wanted...
You don't have to. Chantal, you're an impulsive person. And if you are impulsive, what you should do is if you make a decision about anything, wait a few days. And then if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it. You don't have to make a video as soon as you have a thought in your head. And considering how impulsive you are, maybe you just shouldn't do it. Because this is where people get confused and frustrated and they think they're being lied to because it feels like a lie when you're impulsive and you're like, I'm going home, and the next day, no, I'm not. It feels like a scam. It feels like a lie. If you are self-aware of the fact that you are impulsive and you are make impulsive decisions, then shut up for a couple of days and figure it out before you announce something to the public.
to say a huge thank you to all of you Beezers, all of you guys who were there to pick me up when I was feeling down.
You know why she's doing this? She's not saying thank you because she's got a true sense of empathy, y'all. She's doing this because she knows, with her going back and forth and exposing all of her health issues, and then going out and getting donuts or doing a mukbang, that it's going to piss people off. And she's going to lose even more of her beezers. So when she knows she's gotten in trouble, she got herself in trouble, that whatever beezers she has left are going to be angry with her, what she'll do is she'll love bomb her beezers. I care about you guys so much. I value your opinion. I'm so glad you're all here. She'll love bomb people. She will circle the wagons and she will love bomb to keep too many people from leaving, because that is what abusive people do. Once they lock on target, if you are a mark, if you are a target, they will be abusive. They will push you as far as they think they can push you. And then when they sense you're about ready to walk away, then they'll love bomb you and it's okay, and I'll never do it again. And you'll believe them because, you care about that person and you think, well, maybe just another try. But they never improve. In their mind, they've gotten away with something, and the next time they become abusive, they'll push it even further. And the time after that, and the time after that. And the only way to break that cycle is to completely walk away. That's the only way to stop an abusive person from hurting you. And as crazy as this may sound, believe it or not, y'all, believe it or not, and this was especially true during the Natter era, there were a lot of people online that were part of her Beezer chat, the VIBs. There were so many people involved in an abusive relationship with Chantal and didn't even know it. She would come online and be abrasive, abusive, putting people down, humiliation, making people feel worthless, doing all of this to get control over them, threatening with humiliating them on her community post or in a video, coming online. Who wants to be blocked? People were afraid of her temper. They were walking on eggshells. And then she would get in trouble and do the love bombing. What the fuck is that? If not an abusive relationship? It doesn't have to be in person to person, physical. An abusive relationship can be far away, distant. So that was especially true during the whole Natter era. And she's still kind of doing it here. She doesn't value anybody in the audience. What she values is what she can get out of them. And because the money has gone down, she can't push people the way she used to. And she can't be as arrogant. She's got to have a certain level of nice that is not natural to her. But she's doing the love bombing here. She knows everybody's going to be mad at her because they wanted her to go home and get herself together. And she's not going to do it. She's too afraid the moment she gets on that plane that Salah's going to find another lolcow or another sugar mama, or he's going to be, God forbid, having fun without her. She's too insecure and she's too jealous, and she's too afraid that if she leaves, that he's going to have way too much fun. So she's staying put. I told you, she's not leaving Kuwait unless it's kicking and screaming. She will not leave willingly. She will not leave on her own accord. They're going to have to force her out.
I do use my platform for that. Like sometimes, sometimes you just need some support from people and just talk it out. And I always say that, like, I kind of use my platform in a way as therapy, with being careful to
But
still.
it's not therapy. It is not. When you're in actual therapy, you've got something, you have people that know what they're talking about focusing on you. You could talk to them. It's private. You can open up without fear of judgment, and you can get down to the heart of what the issue is. And it might be really tough to face yourself, to reflect, to figure out what's going on, but it's so worth it when you purge that whatever it is that's holding you back. It feels so good to understand yourself and to heal yourself. Some of the worst scars are the ones you can't see that are on your mind. When we can have scars on our skin, and yeah, they do hurt, but the ones on your soul, on your heart, on your mind, they take the longest to heal. And sometimes you don't even know they're there. She doesn't want to heal. She wants to stay sick.
Respect a lot of my privacy where I can. I think we all know I'm impulsive. Um, I actually bought a ticket to go to Canada. Excuse me, which I will show you here.
And can I just say, I think that if she bought a ticket just to get $2 or $3 in donuts, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That if she actually bought a ticket for $2,000 just to get $3 in donuts, I'm like, I'm done. I am so done. If you will actually go that far to manipulate a man, Chantal, you need to be locked up. That just because you're not getting a few dollars in donuts and some fast food, that you'll spend $2,000 you don't have to make it happen. What the F is wrong with you?
And so I've already canceled it, and so I've lost some money on that, but whatever.
Oh, is that your also like your additional way to make sure that you can't leave Kuwait? That'll be your perfect excuse. Well, I spent money on a plane ticket, and that was the money that I had to leave during my visa run. So I have to stay here. Was that another manipulation tactic, Chantal? Kind of force his hand to keep you there, squat like a toad in Kuwait. Trust me, if Kuwait wants you gone, you're going to get gone. They'll put your butt on a boat. They don't care. They really don't care. When you got to go, you got to go.
I that's like I if I just waited a bit longer to for my feelings to calm down, I wouldn't have this problem. Anyway, I don't want to live in Canada right now. Like I know I said I was going for sure, and at the time that I did that live stream, I really believed in my heart that's what I wanted to do. It's not that I wanted to go to Canada, it's that I wanted to just escape for a while. And I thought maybe that
Wait, hold on. To escape from what? According to you, your life in Kuwait is peaceful, right? Didn't you tell us that? That you're with Salah, he makes you happy, he's handsomest man, he cares about you, you're closer to Allah being in Kuwait. According to you, you have a peaceful, happy life. So why would you need to escape Kuwait? You're not making sense, Chantal. You are contradicting yourself.
that
So basically, you're telling on yourself. See, that's what I love about Chantal. Rule one, Chantal lies. Rule two, Chantal tells on herself. You just kick back and wait. She'll tell on herself. Escaping something means wherever you are, you don't want to be there. And we've all said that she is miserable. And when she goes home to Canada, she's always happier because she's in her element. She's on her stomping grounds, and she could drive around where she wants, and she can get what she wants, and she can get those snacks and get that Starbucks and get that Burger King. And Salah's not around to stop her. She's more herself in Canada than she is in Kuwait. Like a bird set out of a cage. Yet she is determined to hang on to a man that wants nothing physically to do with her. They have some sort of arrangement. He's supposed to just act nice to her on camera, but it's not a real relationship. Chantal may want it to be so, but it never will be. And Chantal, I don't care how much money you offer up to Salah. Real feelings are real feelings. You're deluding yourself into thinking that if I pay this person enough, they'll love me for real. Not going to happen. It didn't happen with Nader. It's certainly not going to happen with Salah. You tried this before with somebody. You did not learn your lesson. Therefore, you're repeating the lesson. Wake up. Wake up. There's nothing appealing about you. You don't have a good personality. You have no positive attributes. Why should any man fall in love with a woman who is so uncaring of herself? Put the sketcher on the other foot for a second. If you were a man and there was a woman interested in you, but she doesn't care about herself, doesn't care about her health, doesn't take a shower, doesn't wash her hair, is rude, is immature, is controlling and manipulative and jealous, and you can't even have a life, would this be the person you'd want to be your partner? Hell no. You would run as fast as you could from that. What man is going to invest his heart in somebody that could be gone the next day? Nobody. You look for a partner who's going to be around for many, many years, possibly until your last day. You're walking around with so many health problems, who knows what could happen to you and when. And yet you're expecting a man to invest his heart, his life, his energy in you? Why would anybody? If you don't care about you, why would anybody else care about you?
You know, I don't know. It's honestly going to be a bit of a confusing video because it's like honestly so hard for me to try to convey how I feel because and that's why I changed my thumbnail to I'm confused because I sometimes am very confused. Um, the life I live here
You weren't confused. You knew exactly what you were doing and you knew why you were doing it. You wanted those doggone donuts. Salah wasn't giving in to you. The two of you probably had a talk because you were very much in cahoots. He was in the live chat deleting comments, so apparently he wasn't gone. You guys weren't broke up. I saw his doggone keyboard in the living room. Chantal. So he was very much still around. The two of you were in cahoots and you were talking and you said to him, let me go online and kind of like Dupers delight boo-hoo to everybody and see if I could get some extra money. Thank God the Beezers over there, at least they're smart enough. They've learned a bit enough from the laugh scam not to give you money now. So you didn't get a whole bunch of super chats. What you did not work. It didn't work. But you tried it. You tried it. And now you're doing this follow-up video. Oh, I was confused. No, the F you weren't. No, you weren't. You are so desperate for cash. You'll try any cheap, sleazy tactic to get the views up, to get more subs, to get more super chats. You'll try anything. You might as well just sit on a corner and sell snake oil. You might as well just sell bridges in San Francisco. You'll do everything but quality content and taking care of yourself.
here is very different from the one I lived in Canada. And sometimes I just get fed up with everything in my situation, you know? A more domestic life, a life.
So I'm so fed up with my situation. What's hard about your situation? See, this is where I'm going to drag your ass over the coals. What's so bad about your situation, bitch? What is so bad? You're in a one-bedroom apartment. It's comfortable. You have air conditioning. You have the comforts of home. You got the view of the ocean, which you never go to, which is surprising to me. It's like, why would you get a place near the ocean if you never go there? But that's a whole separate issue. We'll leave that alone for now. All you have to do is make quality videos every day or every other day. You don't have to leave the house. You don't have to exert yourself or be covered in sweat. Just think of good ideas and put them into video content. And you're going to bitch about that, how hard that is. And oh, woe is me. I got to wash some dishes. I got to change the litter box. I got to vacuum the floor. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. There are lots of people that work 10 times harder than you with families and they get it done because it needs to get done. You spoiled, rotten, entitled bitch. How dare you? You know what, y'all? I wish that Chantal could be made to get a regular job for at least a month. Ooh, I would pay to see that. Let her sweat. Let her work on her feet. Let her eat some humble pie. She needs it. She's been entitled far too long. She doesn't know how hard it is out there, how hard people have to work for their money. Maybe if she got an idea for at least a while, she would be more appreciative of her time on YouTube. She'd be more appreciative of her audience and her beezers, and she wouldn't be such a see you next Tuesday. She would learn to say thank you more and mean it. You know, break through that spoiled, rotten child wall and smash it because it needs to come down. But imagine complaining. You got all day to do whatever the fuck you want. You can do your videos and spend the rest of the day doing whatever, doing some yoga, doing some Pilates, exercising, looking to see what you can do for educating yourself on diabetes. What can I do to improve myself? I've got all the time in the world. I've got money. I've got opportunity. I've got resources. What can I do to fix myself? I've been given a golden cup of fortune. And if I use it the right way, I can have the things that I want. No, she's turned that cup of fortune into a cup of addiction. And the addiction's got control. When Chantal talks, we're not hearing Chantal. We're hearing the addiction talking. She's just the mouthpiece. It's telling her what to do. It's telling her how to live. And she knows this. And she's not fixing it. So we can't do anything. But I'm sick to death of you complaining about your life, Chantal. You're spoiled. You've been spoiled for 8 years on YouTube. You have no idea how hard it is out there. If you knew, if you remember, you would feel blessed and you would shut up and stop complaining.
With more responsibilities as a wife. And Salah's not hard.
What responsibilities? Like, what do you do for Salah? You don't cook for him. You don't really do. Oh my God. We're going to complain about putting dirty clothes in a washer and a dryer that are right there in her apartment. Really? We're going to complain about 10 minutes worth of dishes. We're going to complain about picking up trash that she chose to throw on the floor. Oh, that's so hard being a domestic goddess. Hey, Chantal, you big idiot. If all of that is too much, hire a maid. Just hire a maid. They'll do the work for you. Pay them. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. If physically you can't do it, let somebody else do it. Or are you so cheap you're not going to do it? You could have people come in and care for the pets. You won't even have to touch the litter box. Figure it out. You're an adult. Figure it out.
Hard on me compared to, I'm sure, a lot of husbands, like, on their wives. Like, he's pretty lax, you know. He's very understanding. He went and got me some flowers to cheer me up because I wasn't feeling good, and, you know, just like a little something, and, you know, wrote like on the card, like, you're my.
He's not understanding, Chantal. He's just an enabler. And you're the employer and he's the employee. And he wants to ensure that he continues to get a paycheck. So he's just, you know, love bombing you or making you feel better so you don't disappear. So he can make sure that, you know what, I'm looking at the date. I'm looking at the date. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 18th. YouTube payday is the 22nd. Chantal will get her paycheck Monday or Tuesday because she's Canadian. So Salah's not stupid. Payday is really, really close. He's going to make sure that he gets his cut and at least get a 1 or 2 more paychecks before he cuts her loose. He's not dumb.
Sweet love and stuff like that. So he's actually like a really sweet guy with that. But
No, he's not. He's probably thinking, I hung in this long. Payday's coming. I'm going to make her feel good and make the milk nice and sweet before I sit down with a bucket and milk those udders.
sometimes we all just have really down moments, and for me, I think what it is just all piled up. Like, I'm and that's why I'm happier today when I saw the results of my numbers, because I'm like, I felt like, oh my gosh, like all these, my sciatica was really bad.
Oh, shut the F up. Seriously, with the sciatica? Chantal, you bent down yesterday in your chair to pick up Julia. Like, you straight up arched your back. If you had sciatica, you couldn't do that. Or did you forget about that? Because Yeah, that happened. You can't pick up a cat and bend over in your chair like that without having a spasm. And so you woke up today and allegedly your numbers were better. And then you just did a live where you went out and got donuts. Diabetes says who? Diabetes says what?
And I just feel like there was no.
So your numbers get good and you're like, oh, great, my numbers are better. I can go out and eat sweets and chase my blood sugar back up. You're stupid. You're a danger to yourself. You need to be institutionalized. Seriously.
way out with my health. Like I just felt like, you know, burdened by all these health issues, and I felt like I can't change because it's too hard. And
No, it's not too hard. You just don't want to try. There are people that are dealing with much more serious health issues and just as severe addictions. And the difference is they got to a point where they said, I'm committed to myself. I am committed to my good health. I am committed to life. And I'm going to do what I can to fix the damage. I'm going to start from here. This is day one. And I'm going to move forward from day one. And every day there's going to be improvements. You are not committed to yourself. You're committed to keeping the addiction going and feeding it and making it happy. You are a miserable woman. You are self-loathing, self-hating. You hate your body. You must hate your body. You put it through a lot of pain and you don't want to stop. But you are not committed to life. You are committed to feeding the addiction. And no one can stop you. Nobody, anywhere.
anyway, so I have a lot of personal issues going on. A lot of self doubt was creeping in about whether I can be like a good wife, whether I.
You can't. You can't be a good wife for so many reasons. And don't you dare come over here and say fat shaming, fat phobia. You're basically you're targeting my weight. This has nothing to do with your weight. This is why you can't be a good wife, Chantal, because number one, you are not a good person. You're not a good person. A heart has two sides. Have you ever looked at a picture of a heart? A heart has two sides, a left and a right. You only acknowledge one side. What's important for the one side, your side. You don't consider the other side. What's good for the other person, what their dreams and aspirations are, their interest, their happiness. It's all about you. You're selfish and you're self-centered and you're narcissistic. You don't care if you make people miserable. You don't care if they are miserable. You don't care if they're angry and resentful as long as you're getting what you want. You don't know how to be good. You don't know how to do good things. You only do what looks like good deeds to get leverage over people, to get your way, to have power over them. That's how evil and twisted you are. When you're really married, when you're a real wife, your partner is your best friend. Anybody out there that's married or been in a serious relationship, you know I'm telling the truth. If you have a partner, you get to know them, they get to know you. That person is your favorite person and they are your best friend. And you could tell them anything. They can tell you anything. You're each other's confidant. But you're concerned as much about them as you are about yourself. And you're a team and you work together. You're not working together with Salah. You're both are each in your own worlds doing your own thing because it's not a real marriage. It's a business transaction. It's a business arrangement, has been from the get-go. Chantal, you went to Kuwait long ago. In essence, in my opinion, to play house. I remember playing house when I was a child. It's a make-up game of pretend. You be the daddy, I be the mommy, you're playing house. You're imitating your family. But it's pretend play. You went to Kuwait, in my opinion, because you wanted to know what it was like to be married. And you couldn't get the real version because you're not willing to work on yourself or find a person that really loved you for who you were because you're just completely freaking awful. So you wanted the act. You wanted the fake version. You went over to Kuwait the first time to play house with Salah. And all he had to do was fake love you and pretend to be your fake husband. You were willing to buy into it just to have the appearance of being married, to have, you wanted to know what it was like to have an attractive guy holding your hand, walking beside you, saying nice things to you. You were willing to throw down the only thing you had, which was your money, and to be someone that you're not in order to get that, to be accepted. So you put yourself through all this misery because you want to continue to play house. And you fooled yourself into thinking, if I play house with this person long enough, and if I pay the bills long enough, and if I have a good enough house, and I buy him a car, that he will just give in and love me. No, he doesn't. He's not going to love you. Never. Because he's not really feeling real feelings in his heart, and you can't buy those. But this is all you got. You sat at the poker table too long. You gambled all your chips. You're down to just a few. And yet, you won't be smart enough to just cut your losses and go home and fix yourself. You're too concerned with girl world and looking like a fool. Girl, that's already too late. You already look like one. But you're not even smart enough to take the L and go home. And for the first time in your life, focus on you and improving you. You want to keep your lies going. You want to keep the mask on because you just don't want to deal with girl world. Like, I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want to be embarrassed. You've already lost the game, Chantal. You've already lost. It's just a matter of how much do you want to lose? Are you willing to lose it all? Because that's about to happen. Even your life. How ridiculous that you're willing to lose your life over your pride, your vanity, your narcissism. You're willing to lose your life over that? Or your addiction? You're stupid. You need help. You need help.
I can be a good, whether I can make the changes like I need to turn my life around. What about our goals, our dreams? Like everything was
Chantal, you effed up. You said in the taco live stream, Salah cannot tell you what to do. You said, I'm 40 years old. No one's going to tell me what to do. I'm the one making the money. You were right. You were absolutely correct. No one can tell you what to do. You're an addict making money. You control the money on purpose. Because as long as you control the money, you make the money, you're the one paying him. He can't tell you what to do. He is enabling you. That's how you wanted it. That's how you designed it. So how can you heal in the same environment and circumstance that you put yourself in? Not possible. Change requires a new environment and new people and new attitude and new lifestyle. You cannot change with the same toxic setup in place. Just not, and it's not going to happen.
just like piling on and giving me like huge anxiety.
Oh, shut up.
And when I get like that, I'm very irritable. So we got in like a bit of a petty argument.
Told you. We called it, didn't we, girl world? We said it. They got into an argument. Girl world said it. All of us said it. There was a fight. There was a fight. Oh, and I love that face. Hold on, y'all. Like, I gotta capture that face. If I try to capture it later, I probably won't get it. Hold up. Like, I love, she's so photogenic, our girl. Yes, she is. She's so photogenic. Love it. Okay, that's a thumbnail for later. But they had a fight. Girl world, we said it. They had a fight. He wasn't giving in to her wanting donuts, and he took her out today and got donuts. The whole thing was over freaking donuts.
And I just like, I was mad at the world. I was mad at Salah. I was mad, yeah, everything. So yeah, it wasn't anything like really major, like that I can pinpoint. Like a lot of people were like, I'm sure speculating. I haven't looked around. I'm not doing that anymore from
Liar. You went live and then you said, oh, I'll probably come back live later. But we noticed you didn't pop back up live. You want to know why, Chantal? Because you spent the rest of the day checking out all the reaction channels and TikTok and Twitter, looking around to see what the consensus was, to see if anybody believed the bullshit. And nobody believed it. We were all saying the same thing. I don't believe it until I see it. I won't believe this thing is over until she is in Canada by herself, taking off the hijab, taking off the abaya, and going off on Salah. Then we might believe it. When she torches the bridge, we'll believe it. But until then, we're going to hold off. And look how right we were. We knew it wasn't over. He was in the chat. His stuff was still in the apartment. She was over there talking about, oh, let's be respectful. She's a wrathful, evil, nasty person. She doesn't let men go. So if she's over there saying we need our privacy and I'm going to be more mature, you know it's a bunch of BS.
My mental health, but just based on comments that I've deleted because
Yeah, go ahead and delete the comments. And just understand that when you delete the comments from people who are upset, you're basically turning away your audience, Chantal. You're turning off your audience with the lies and the gaslighting and manipulation, and you don't have many beezers left. You used to have a huge turnover as far as the VIBs and the beezers, and you counted on that, and that made you arrogant. You would actually get online and tell people, I don't care if you leave, I'll get more people later. But less and less people are interested in you and your story because there's really nothing to report. There really isn't. So your audience is dwindling. Your views are dwindling. Your money is dwindling. And yet you're not getting it through your head. You need to stop lying. But lying is what you do. You're not even doing it well, but you still do it because you think you're smarter than everybody and nobody can see through you. Girl, you're so transparent. Okay? You're so transparent. We got you figured out. We got you on lock. We know your patterns like the back of our hand. You ain't fooling nobody.
I could get the general idea of people running with it. What I don't understand is people being like angry, like they were like legit, like you're a scammer.
Yep.
Like, how am I a scammer? Like, why am I a scammer for going live and talking about my feelings? Like, I didn't ask anybody for a single dime.
That's the dry begging, though. You can ask without asking. You did it in Canada. You were telling people, oh, anybody wants to send me something, I got to move into a place and I don't have anything, which is your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility in the audience to buy you stuff for whatever house or apartment or hotel room or whatever that you get. You make more money than the people in your audience. Why do they have to spend their money, excuse me, to buy you dishes or buy you blankets? Take some of that mukbang money and buy stuff. Take care of yourself. Why do you look to people to take care of you? You should have more respect for people. They got families of their own. They got to put food on their table. You don't respect nobody. But you know how to ask without asking. And you do that on purpose so that nobody could come back and say, you scammed me and you asked me for something, because then you'll turn around and flip it and go, well, I didn't ask for anything. Oh, but you did. You did, by putting your problems on the table. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to go. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing, ma'am. I've dealt with enough scammers in my life that I know all the tactics. And the asking without asking, oh, that's a popular thing that scammers do. They figure people out. They see how gullible you are or good-hearted. And then they pounce on it. And they take advantage. And someone like yourself, narcissistic, scamming, people that don't matter to you until you need something. You're one of those people that You don't talk to a person unless you need something from them, some money or resources, and then you go running to them and love bomb them and say, I care about you guys so much. But the moment you get something, you disappear until the next time you need something. So yeah, you are a big freaking scammer, liar who lies.
Like, I didn't ask anyone to help me. I didn't ask anyone to buy my flight. We can take care of ourselves. Thank you very much. I didn't ask.
Besides that, Chantal's not, she's stupid, but she knows where the line is. She doesn't have many beezers left, and she knows that she's walking on thin ice with a lot of them. And if she outright got on stream or a video and said, I need your money for this or that, and the people gave their money, and then she turned around and used it, but not for purposes intended, she will probably lose about half her audience, and she can't afford that. She doesn't have a whole lot of people left. She doesn't even pull 1,000 people viewing when she goes live. So she can't afford to lose anybody.
Anybody for anything. Oh, it's a Visa run scam. I
Yep.
don't know how a Visa run is a scam. I don't know why people are so obsessed with whenever if I have to travel, what my visa status is. But
You know why, Chantal? Look, it's because everybody is sick to death of the Kuwait arc. It's boring. There's nothing to talk about. You are miserable. We know you're miserable. You know you're miserable. Salah is miserable. But this whole thing is boring. And you're happy you're in Canada. And everybody just wants to see you go back home and find a bit of happiness or health or wellness or something, because you being stubborn and staying there, it's not it. It's just not it. We know you're doing it out of pride, out of vanity, out of narcissism, and trying to prove that we were wrong and you were right, even though you know the opposite is true. The girl world has been right all along. Yet you just can't swallow your pride and admit that we were right. It's too big of a pill, girl. It's sticking in your throat. It would be good for you to swallow it, but you're not going to. All the food in the world you can shove down your gullet in 10 minutes, and you can't swallow your pride. It's choking you. It's choking you. You're making yourself miserable for what and for who? To what good end? There is none. But go ahead. Go ahead, be narcissistic, be stupid if you wish. But as long as you are, your views are going to go down, your money's going to go down, you're going to suffer by your own hand. Not because of girl world. We're not forcing you to do anything. You're forcing this upon yourself just because you don't want to admit defeat. There's an old saying, Chantal, lean in and listen, lady. Lean into somebody who's a little bit older than you and smarter, definitely smarter. Listen to your elders for once. Sometimes you gotta lose the battle to win the war. Think on that. Sometimes you gotta lose the battle to win the war. Don't be afraid to lose the small things to gain the big things. Do you understand? Think on those words. I'm not here to help you. You gotta help yourself. But just think how dumb you are that you're so focused on the small things that you're denying yourself the bigger things that actually matter.
I really don't get that. So I'm just gonna ignore that. But yes, I did block some regular people who were insulting my husband because it's my channel, it's my corner of the internet. He's a part of my life. Um, I'm not forcing people to like somebody, but if you
Yes, you are, because you won't leave them off your channel. And Chantal, everybody's noticed, especially when you were back in Canada, you were doing a live stream and you looked fine. And the moment he walked in the chat room, you completely changed. And a lot of your beezers called it out. They're like, you changed yourself as soon as he got here. That's so weird. You're a different person when you're around Salah. You're not yourself.
You know, you at least can't come here and disrespect my people that I love. So that's
People,
how it's gonna work. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but
you know why people are upset with Salah, Chantal? The fact that A, he's an enabler. B, if he really was your husband, a real husband, he would tell you, get your butt home and get some treatment because your health is really, really bad. If he loved you at all, even on a friendship level, that's what he would do. The fact that he's not shows how indifferent he is, and he's just around for the money.
I'm here to entertain you guys, not really like give you free reign on, insulting people I love and interfering in my personal life. So yeah, I don't mind sharing some things about my life with you guys, but sometimes it gets taken too far. And I those comments were just like way whack. Like, like here we go again. Oh, she's gonna change her mind. But it doesn't affect your life whatsoever. So that's fine. I understand. I'm very frustrating sometimes.
Sometimes, how about all the time? Miss Impulsive, I can't make up my mind and I don't stop and think about what I'm doing before I do it. Sometimes,
But that's just how I am. Like I've always been that way. I'll continue to try to mature in that way and get a hold of it. But
you've heard that before too, y'all. Beezers. Take it from somebody who's been reacting to this woman for years. Everything she's saying right now, we've heard 100 times. Oh, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to be more mature. Da 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 da. Nothing has changed. Trust me when I say there's a reason we call it the Chantal cycle. Although I think we can safely upgrade it to the Chantal circle because a cycle implies that there are phases of different things. There's no phases anymore. It's just her spinning around in a circle faster and faster. She's not going to change. She doesn't care about her health. She will never care about her health. What she will do is get in front of all of you over there and say she does care about her health. She'll feed you scraps of hope that she is changing this time, that she does care, and you guys will be hopeful for her. And that's her way of keeping you around a little bit longer. But the same crap keeps happening over and over. And if we're going to get really, really real and crude for just a minute, when you watch Chantal, what you're watching is a woman who is an addict doing the source of her addiction on camera, getting her fix on camera, and she wants all of you to watch. She wants you to watch her get high. And she wants you to pay to watch her get high and talk to her while she gets high. She wants you to watch her ruin her health and make herself sick. And then when she makes herself sick, she wants to be able to complain about it and monetize that too. Do you see what a sick fucking cycle this is? Or a circle, I should say. This has been going on for a long time and it's just getting worse. Much worse. It's really accelerated in the last couple of years. A lot of people have bowed out from watching her because of this, because they see like this is really dark. She's not stopping. She could stop. She could go to therapy. She doesn't want to. She is an addict that is unfortunately fully committed to her addiction, feeding it, taking care of it, being concerned about it, being consumed about it. And there's nothing that anybody can do. And the addiction has it's consumed her soul. It has absolutely consumed her. It's taken her over. Food is not just something she's addicted to. It is literally her identity. And that's bad when that happens. Addiction is like death. It doesn't discriminate. It takes anybody, anywhere, anytime. It doesn't care how much money you got, who your family is, if you're a good person or a bad person, if you have 100,000 subscribers. When it's time, it's time. And death nor addiction is going to be manipulated. You can't lie to either one of them. She can lie to herself, but not those.
But in the meantime, I'm just, like I've said in the videos before I've done this, I'm torn sometimes between my home there, my home here. But I realize that I don't have a home there anymore. I don't have anything to go back to except my family. But I don't want to stay at my mom's. I don't want to stay with my mom. It's a
You know why she doesn't want to stay with her mom? Because she can't stay with mom. As I said earlier, her family, I think the whole Music Biz Marty thing, when that happened, when the car got almost towed and there was a big blow up over that, I think that was the final straw for the family. And they were like, enough is enough. And every single time after that, that she went back to Canada, they gave her just enough room to sleep on the couch to keep her safe at night. And they gave her back the Kia and said, you want to go stream? The door's that way. You can't stay here. We don't trust you. We don't trust you to not stream here. We don't trust you to keep this place clean or not clean out the refrigerator. During the daytime when we have to work, you got to go. And that's what all of those car streams were about. Because she didn't have a place of her own to bees and to act stupid. She can't stay with her family. They're not going to put her up long term. If she were a nicer person or less of a burden, maybe they might. But of all the family members, nobody is reaching out to say, hey, Chantal, come live with me. Why do you think that is? She's got an uncle. She's got Aunt Phyllis. She's got her mom. Nobody wants her back. Nobody wants to take that responsibility or that burden on. They don't want her trashing their place, eating their food, being a problem, invading their privacy. Chantal, your own family feels that way about you. Imagine what Salah feels. You put yourself in a corner acting like a rotten bitch.
full house there. Um, and I don't want to stay somewhere putting my family in jeopardy because people know where I am. I don't want people to know where I am.
Get a motel room. This is so simple. Go back to that sleazy, easy motel room with the sex chair. Set it up to where nobody knows that you're there. They can't really pinpoint you. Put something on the walls. Take down the pictures, whatever. Stream from there. This is so easy to figure out.
I don't want people to drive by. I don't want people to harass my family and myself while I'm there. And it has happened before many times. And I don't want that.
And whose fault is that? You decided to come on camera and put yourself out there the way that you did and be as offensive as you were. And people reaching out to your family saying, like, why don't you do something? Even though there's really nothing they can do. But you created this bad girl walk through the crowd, booing at you, throwing tomatoes image, Chantal. There are repercussions for that.
My aunt's house, I've stayed with her, but it's so small. She has like a small 1 bedroom. I don't have a car anymore. So
the aunt has a 1 bedroom. Like, how much space does this woman need? I mean, if you got nothing, wouldn't a little bit of something be more than sufficient? Make it work, sort of? She can't even make a 1 bedroom work. And she's talking about van life or camper life, please.
it's like, I have a home and we have a vehicle here.
That's not your home. Your name isn't on the lease. You might be paying the rent and the bills because Salah's not working, but it's not your home per se. It's a rented space. You don't have a home, Chantal.
And I have my pets. That's another thing. Like,
you don't care about your pets.
When I, look at my pets, like, how can I leave them? Like, I've already.
Fuck you, bitch. Save it. Save it. I care about my pets so much. Please save it. Please. When is the last time that Julia's been brushed? She's matted. When is the last time she's gotten her nails clipped? Have you gotten her fixed yet? No. You don't do right by your pets. I care about them so much, then why aren't you caring for them? I bet you don't even change the freaking litter boxes. I wonder what they look like these days. Quit it. Quit it. She was just a prop that you picked up off the street. to piss off girl world. We all are aware of this. She looked a lot like BBJ. She was the closest you could find to looking like BBJ. And you're like, people are going to get mad because she looks like BBJ and nobody wants me to have a pet. And this is going to boost the views. We all feel bad for Julia. I hope that in the future she finds a good home. I really do. Because I'm sure she's not happy with you. You don't take care of yourself. You're certainly not taking care of a pet. You're a slob. You have a dirty environment. You don't take care of your pets. You don't care for your pets. So quit it with that. I care about my pets so much. No, you don't.
I'm still getting over the trauma. Like, it was traumatic for me what I did, like rehoming them, and well, one being stolen, and then
Oh, really? We're going to go there. Now you know this is end of the month shit. She's going to go over BBJ again. She's going to bring it up again. Chantal, I don't want to say anything to upset my audience because pets being neglected is a very touchy subject and it makes us all feel a certain kind of way. But when I think about everything you put little BBJ through, the purposeful neglect, you bitch, the purposeful, malicious neglect that baby had to endure, being a mess from tip to tail, dirty infected ears, rotted teeth, kidney issues that could have been easily prevented, UTI so bad she was peeing blood, mats so severe in her fur they couldn't be dealt with all in one session because of her age. She could not be put, anesthetized. I hope that's the right word. Arthritis. There was everything wrong with little BBJ. You let that happen. And you were in such a hot-fired hurry to get over to Salah that you wanted to dump BBJ onto a viewer that was bedbound. If that had been a real thing, that bedbound person would not be able to take her to the vet and get her the medical care that she needed. But all you were concerned about is making sure that BBJ got with somebody that was off of YouTube that you could trust, that wouldn't turn around and expose you on YouTube, and then your worst nightmare happened. Not only did a YouTuber get BBJ, but your mortal enemy. Oh, that was divine intervention. That was a glorious day. That not only the worst of your evils got exposed, but by somebody you absolutely hate. And BBJ won. Because she's living better and she's healthier than you. She's living her best life. You're not, though. Karma ain't karma a bitch. Sure is. You deserved all of that. Didn't have to go that way, but it did. But now you're bringing up BBJ again. Shouldn't you be leaving that situation alone, considering the way you treated her and Sam? Yeah, I think so.
then one rehoming. That was really traumatic for me. Like,
You weren't really rehoming BBJ. You were getting rid of her. It wasn't about finding the right home for her where she could get the best care. It's about, let me just get rid of her so I can go back over to Kuwait and control Salah. That's all it was.
still deal with that, and to have to do that all over again, like with my pets, like it's just, I don't know.
You don't care. You don't care about your pets. Shut up.
Can't do it. I did get an update on Sam.
Oh, geez. And yet there's going to be no proof of that. Quit. Sam is probably with a family friend, but I seriously doubt she's getting updates. And she'll never get Sam back because whoever has Sam, when they got Sam, he had to have a lion's cut because of all the dander in his fur from the neglect. And I seriously doubt that somebody would take in a pet and take it to the vet and spend the money on a pet just to give it back to the original neglectful owner. So that's a done deal too, thank God.
A picture. The person who has him sent a picture and he was sprawled out on the bed looking very happy. But
Yeah, that should make you feel like absolute crap. That there have been pictures of your pets after being away from you and they're happier and healthier than when they were with you. They never look like that with you. If you had any kind of heart, you would go, wow, like I really treated them bad. I was neglectful. They gave me unconditional love and I did not appreciate it. And they only thrived after being away from me. I couldn't provide that environment for them.
um, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll be reunited with him. I'm not too
Nope,
sure.
nope, forget about it. I hope whoever has Sam, they never let you see him again. That if you come to the door, they keep the door locked in your face and go away, Chantal.
They weren't opposed to giving him back to me, like, but they're taking good care of him and they don't mind keeping him. So we'll see with that. But and in the meantime, I have my pets here. I have a new home here I've built,
You
and
didn't build anything. You just paid for the rented space. You didn't build nothing.
you don't realize how much you're going to miss that until you actually go to leave. You know, like,
Yeah, because you're in Kuwait. If you go home to Canada, without sounding shady, I'm not putting around anybody who's homeless because everybody's got a different story. For her, she would be homeless. She would not have a home base. And she's not strong enough nor independent enough or free thinking to figure things out. She's like a child almost, like, I don't know what to do. I need help. Somebody pay for stuff and take over. She's so regressed in her thinking, she doesn't want to figure it out.
like I booked the ticket, and um, I had Salah like, don't go, don't go. Like, I don't know. I don't. We can't live without each other. You know how like
No, no, no. You can't live without him. His friend Allah even said to you in a stream like a while ago, if you leave Chantal, give Salah about a month, he'll be okay. He's got family, he's got friends. I'm sure they would help him, even if it means him sleeping on the couch or whatever. If you were out of the picture, there's a support system for Salah. He can do without you easily. He can find another mark tomorrow. It's just that you can't do without him because you know he's the last one. You don't have the money that you used to, and you don't have the health that you used to pull the same golden bait game that you throw out to guys. You're not making that income to tempt a guy to spend time with you. And any man would look at the lack of money and all your health issues and say, hell no. The juice ain't worth the squeeze and it's way too much trouble. He's the last one in line that will put up with you. You suckered him in at a time when you still had something. You don't have that something anymore. So you're hanging on to him for dear life because you're at a point in your life where you need a literal caretaker. You can't be on your own. You can't do anything on your own. It'll be risky for you to live alone in case something happened. So you don't have the money to pay a professional caretaker and nurse with a medical training. You just pick some rando off the street and make him into your errand boy and your caretaker. So you're not going to let go of Salah if you can help it.
when you love somebody, imagining your life without them is really really hard. So yeah, and I think I'm on the right track with my health because
No, you're not.
um, I have a video later showing some numbers and things like that. I have some health updates coming up. Health update mukbang.
What the hell? Those are two words that do not belong in the same sentence. Health and mukbang. Those are two words that don't freaking belong together. I'm going to do a health mukbang. When we all know and realize that the feedies are the ones who want her to do those mukbangs and they're not going to pay her to eat healthy food. I have yet to hear about a feedie that they're like, I'll pay you X amount to eat broccoli or cauliflower. No, the more unhealthier, the better. And she knows it too. She's just trying to fool herself.
So we'll see, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna stick it out When times get tough, I am very impulsive and I just rush to do something
Now you
drastic,
did this to manipulate Saul to give you some donuts. End of story.
and I have to learn to like seriously just sleep on it, you
Yep.
know? Just
Yeah. In other words, shut your mouth. If you're thinking something, sit on it, lay on it, sleep on it, and then open your mouth when you figure out this is what I want to do or what I'm not going to do. Stop involving your audience in your impulsiveness. Keep it away from the audience. They don't need to be aware of it.
it just Salah was like, "You're impulsive,
Yep.
just sleep on it." And he's right. Like I should just really take the time to, yeah, but I was really upset in my live stream. I don't have good days all the time.
You know what this feels like to me, y'all? This feels like partially an apology to Salah. I mean, part of it is an explanation, but the tone, I'm picking up that part of this is her publicly apologizing to Salah. She's not saying his name, but this feels like her apologizing to him and love bombing him and I won't do it again, that sort of thing.
But I haven't had like a bad cry breakdown like that since that.
You didn't really cry though. Shut up.
It's been a long, long time, and maybe I need to do that more because I do have a lot on my plate. I've taken on a lot, and
What have
um,
you taken on? What are you talking about?
I've been going through a lot. Um, so maybe that was kind of cathartic. But um, and for me, wanting to just be alone and be single, and I do that when I have that self doubt. I say I feel like I have so many health problems. It's almost like a way to like sabotage what I got going on because I feel like it's just gonna crumble because of me. Like I have so much self doubt. Like
And that's what you need therapy for. That's exactly why you need therapy, Chantal, because you don't have the tools and the coping mechanisms and the knowledge and the wisdom to work through this. And this is a shit snowball in your head the size of Mount Everest. You need professional help to pull that apart, look at it, examine it, see what the triggers are, see what the causes are, work on getting things straight. You know what happened? You've had a lot of issues for years. How many there are and what they are, I cannot say. I will not say. I'm not your doctor. Only your doctor, your therapist would know. But you've always had a bad habit of gathering up bad habits and addictions and issues. And then you go to another person who's a stranger with the attitude of, they're going to fix me. They're going to make me better. They're going to make all my problems go away. No person can do that. And considering the amount of issues that you have, that's an impossible task. And it's unfair. You cannot sit there and go to a stranger and say, take all of your time and your focus and your energy and spend it on fixing me. Have no time for yourself, no happiness, no joy, no passions, no interests, no hobbies. Just focus entirely upon me. That's too much responsibility and too much weight. Besides, even if that person wanted to, they can't help you. You got to do it your doggone self. You went to Kuwait with a whole lot of baggage, mama. And I'm not talking the one you hold in your hand. I'm talking about the baggage inside. You brought a 3,000-pound box of emotional and mental damage and luggage to Kuwait with you, which has not been dealt with. And you never bothered to unpack it and fix it. You brought it with you and you never bothered to fix it. You ran from it. You escaped from it. You thought, oh, I'll just avoid the responsibility of it. Well, you can't do that anymore. Can't.
on my abilities as a partner, on everything. Like I just get very like insecure sometimes.
Well, that's a you problem. See, the thing is, Chantal, you're jealous of other women. Why are you jealous? Why are you insecure? Because I think you have at least a little bit of self-awareness that you know that you're not worth a shit right now. I know that's rude to say. I'm not going to apologize though, but I mean, really, what are you bringing to the table other than your YouTube paycheck? You're not a nice person. You're not good-hearted. You're not mature. You're not caring in the sense you should be. You're not offering anybody any happiness. You're not worth a shit. Not even for you. Not even for you. What are you worth to you right now? You're not even doing for you. If you're not good for yourself, how can you be good for anybody around you, whether it's a friend or otherwise? You can't. You're just basically a 550-pound burden that people have to deal with. And it's gotten to a point where nobody wants to deal with it. The family's saying, hey, don't come over here. We don't have room for you. And Salah's, he's full of resentment, I promise you, and bitterness and anger. Anger. It's beneath the surface. He's gritting his teeth. He's grinding his teeth, trying to hold it all in. Because you won't allow him to have a life when he wants one. He's 30 years plus old. He wants his life back, and you're in the way. You're in the way. That's how people see you, a burden. And you're in the way of happiness, and you interfere in happiness rather than looking at you as someone that you add to happiness. That's what you created for yourself, though.
Instead of having to deal with heartache, I just kind of want to just like cut it off and be alone and just be at peace, and to deal with all my issues and just be alone and not burden somebody else and all this self-doubt.
Then why don't you do it? If you could do it. I don't think you could do it because you need a caretaker, but it would be beneficial for you to be by yourself. Because when you're by yourself, Chantal, and I'm saying this as a single woman, I've been single for years, it forces you to look at yourself, to face yourself, to self-reflect, to do that shadow work and make yourself better, because you don't have anything else as a distraction. No shit on anybody that has a family or friends or anything, but you know what I'm talking about. Relationships do take a lot of work and a lot of energy. And sometimes you can be a person alone and say, I don't have that to give. I got to put myself under construction so that I can be the best me I can be and do it. And she's never worked on herself. Never. There's a lot of work to do. She needs to put herself under heavy construction, and she won't.
And what I did, what I guess I just maybe needed to hear also, like from Salah, like, I love you. And like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be like going through all these things, fighting for your health, taking you to appointments, blah, blah, blah. So
He loves your money. If he really loves you, he wouldn't take your money. He would go out and get a regular job and support the two of you. If he loves you so much, why are you paying for everything, dum-dum?
yeah. So that's basically the best I can describe what was going on in my mind. I was just numb, like to the max. I was at my wit's end, having kind of like a panic attack. I don't know. It was a weird mood. And I am feeling a lot better today.
Yeah, you're feeling better because you did a mukbang. You got your fix. You're happy.
Um, yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't gone and booked a flight, but
Nope, that's your stupidity. I don't know how much money she spent on her flight, but hey, that's her dumbness right there.
it's already canceled. So, like, literally, I booked it, and like an hour later, I canceled it. And I think
Yeah, so she can probably get the money back, right? I mean, I don't know how canceling flights work. I've never done that, but can't you get the money back if you do it that quickly? I would think so.
it was like the booking made it like a finality for us, and we like, no, like we can't live without each other. You can't.
Oh, you can't live without him. He could live without you. And it's close to payday. Of course, he's going to tell you what you want to hear, Chantal. He wants that final paycheck before he lets you go.
He's like, you can't go. And I'm like, I can't leave everything here. Like, I love my apartment. I love this place.
You know what? I'm going to say it. If she goes home to Canada at some point alone, if Salah does not seize the day and the opportunity, and the moment he puts her butt on the plane, if he doesn't gather up the friends and pack up that entire apartment and the cat and the hamster and get gone and change his number, he's an idiot. And he deserves every bit of suffering that she can give him when she comes back, because the window would be open. It would be smart for him to jump right through it while he still got the chance. Just disappear into the night.
I love our Cherry Tiggo. It's the new Kia. You guys have to get used to that.
Oh,
It's the new Kia, okay? And since I'm starting to feel on the mend, and winter will be around the corner, we'll be inshallah, we'll travel and we'll do so many things here. I want to go back to Failaka Island. I want to do lots of winter.
Oh, here we go. Her just saying out loud the things she's going to do. This is her giving hope to the Beezers. Oh, the content's going to be so much better, and I'm going to take care of myself. Beezers, she's full of empty promises. She's feeding you scraps of hope. Don't eat those scraps. Hold back and wait. It's easy to talk about something. Make her put some action behind the words before you give faith or hope to this woman. Make her prove it to you.
Winter camping, like we'll do a lot of winter camping, guys. And
winter camping, I want to see that.
It's a new life, and sometimes I feel old life calling back to me, but it's not. It's really just that's over. I don't have a life in Canada anymore, and I don't want to rebuild right now. Rebuilding a life is so hard, especially in one of the most expensive places to live, and I'm already.
I don't want to hear her shit. I don't want to hear her shit, because I went through I'm not dumping on anybody. Please don't take it that way. But years ago, I went through a DV situation where I literally walked out with the clothes on my back and my purse and the money inside. I had nothing to work with. And I went straight to a motel and I worked and I saved money and I got my own place. I started out with nothing. So, Chantal, you can't give me this shit about, I don't know what to do, it's too hard. You have resources. You have ways. It's just that you don't want to be by your damn self. You don't want to be by yourself. If I could walk out of my situation with just my life, and I was grateful to walk out with just my life, because your life is priceless. Anything else can be bought again. If I could do that, why can't you do it? You can't do it because you don't want to do it. You want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to start over and have the villa again and live well and shove it in girl world's face of, I live better than you, than the rest of you peasants. And at this level right now, with your bankruptcies and your lack of money, the most you could get is a motel room. And for you, that would be shameful, because then you couldn't get in our face and say, oh, I'm living better than you, and look at me, I'm in Kuwait and I'm traveling and I'm living by the ocean. If you went home to Canada, you couldn't live like that, and you know it. And like I said, you're not going to take the L. You're not going to lose the battle to win the war. You got to maintain your sense of overinflated pride and vanity at all times. Although your life is on the line. Literally, your life is on the line, and you don't give a shit. You care about preserving your image and your pride, even though it's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
Pretty established here, and I have my family, my pets, my love. What more can I ask for? I really feel blessed. I really feel blessed. I have you guys.
I have my enablers, those of you that are suckers in the audience, that you'll give me super chats and you'll watch my videos, even though I'm not doing anything worth a shit, and I'm being boring, and I'm destroying my health right in front of you, and I'm playing Russian roulette with my life. Yeah, I'm so grateful for all of that.
Whenever I come, and I want to like make it very clear, whenever I come on and if I break down and everything like that, I don't want sympathy or pity or
Lies. Lies detected. I don't want sympathy, she says. What? I don't want, well, what do you want then? What do you want? She don't want freaking sympathy. What? I don't want sympathy. Then what do you want? You want money? You want money? I think you want money. Is that it? You want money. You know, because sympathy is for free. Sympathy don't pay the bills, though. You want money. You want people to pay you for making yourself sick. When you put yourself in that position, stop.
money or anything.
Lies. Then you know what? Whenever you do a live stream or a video, you stay outright. In the beginning of the video or the live, don't give me any money. I don't want your money. Turn off the monetization, Chantal. Turn it off. Guaranteed you won't. You said long ago you would never do YouTube unless you were making money. If money ain't a thing, if that's not why you're here, turn off the monetization and tell people don't send me anything. I'm just doing this for fun. I bet you won't.
I just want you to listen. That's what I like about having an audience is someone to listen to me. The attention is more valuable to me, like somebody listening to me than any.
You know what, Chantal? I'm sure we've all had somebody in our lives. And if you haven't had a person like this, consider yourself lucky. But sometimes in life, as a person, you will run into people that whenever you talk to them, there's always something bad happening, something dramatic. You get on the phone with them, and the first thing they say, the first thing out of their mouth is, "You won't believe what just happened to me," or "I can't believe what just happened." And then they spend the next hour or 2 hours dumping their personal stuff in your eardrum. And they get you to a point where you're so worn out from listening to their problems and the talking and the advice that go nowhere, that when they call you on the phone, the moment you see their name pop up, you go, "Oh shit." I think we've all had somebody like that. Maybe somebody in the workplace, you're like, "Oh God, here we go. Oh God, it's like a wet blanket being tossed around me that smells like mold." You are that person on YouTube because you wear people out with your constant bullshit.
Any money, anything. So, yeah. Um, I guess that's it. That's my explanation. I know there's a lot of people who want me to go back to. I've had some really disrespectful comments like, take off that hijab, blah, blah, blah. First of all, the hijab is not going to come off, like, no matter if I get divorced, if I ever get divorced or whatever, has nothing to do with that. That's like, like it's God.
Well, you don't care about God. You don't care about Allah. You even said yourself long ago in the kitchen with Pete, like you wanted to wear a hijab to basically cover up your lack of hair. And also, you want to wear the abaya to disguise your weight. You've said that in a few live streams. So you're like, do I have to be Muslim to do that? Okay, I'm Muslim. You said it just like that. It's not about the faith. It's not about being a reverted Muslim. It's about you just getting bigger and bigger and you having trouble finding clothes to fit and trying to disguise your weight gain. Rather than fix the problem, you'll try to hide the problem.
Um, you can still be Muslim and not wear hijab though, but it's also a cultural thing. Like, so it's cultural. It was ordained by Allah. You're supposed to wear it in Islam, but it's also just, I don't know. I just find
If she ever came back to Canada and this thing was really over, I would say if they had a breakup for real, it would take her all of like 2 weeks to take off the hijab and the abaya. Like she would keep it on for a while, and then something would happen, and then she'd take them all off.
those comments really gross. So I just delete them and block and goodbye. And yeah, I mean, sure, I could have a much bigger audience if I let a lot, if I don't filter and I let everyone just come in.
But you do anyway. You don't have VIB chat. You do open swim. And you do that on purpose to get extra views and hoping to make a few extra VIBs out of it. And that's why you do it. You hate open chat, Chantal, but you're so desperate for money, you do that because you can't afford to lock the chat down to just your VIBs.
But I'm going more for quality over quantity. Like,
Oh my God, did she just say that? Did she just say that? Didn't have an I said that? Quality over quantity? Chantal, you watching my videos? I know you're watching my videos. And that was probably you in a chat room that I went into the other day, Noelle, being rude. Was that you? Girl, I know you walk your little self on over here. I've talked about quality over quantity. But let's see you actually do it, though.
I always say, no thanks. I'd
No,
rather
you don't
be
always say that. You don't always say quality over quantity. You don't care about that. You're all about the let's put out a video and make some views today. Stop it.
positive people than a whole bunch of people saying gross things like Islamophobic things, constant fat shaming. Like, no thanks. And I don't mind like a few fat jokes about you guys know I have a sense of humor about myself, but
No, you don't. No, you don't.
sometimes people take it too far and it's just like goodbye, you know? So
So that's basically her video. Let's see if there are any interesting comments in the comments section. She probably deleted a lot of them, or she might leave them up because she needs the engagement, because that's what boosts the channel in the surge. Let's see what we got here. Shelly Ann says, incoming constructive criticism. Girl, you are cycling bad. I've been a silent watcher for a long time, and I'll say it again. Take care of your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Do what you need to do to take care of you. However, continue to do so this way is going to yield the same results every time. It is truly the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. Be well and get the help you so desperately need. There are people who truly do care and want the best for you, believe it or not. I'm 55 years old and speak from experience. I've done the hard work it takes to get to a better place. No one is coming to save you, my dear. That is up to you. Right. She's got to take the first step. But Chantal is not interested in her mental health nor her emotional health. She could seek out therapy, if not in-person therapy, online therapy. She's not interested. Beezers, wake up. She does not care. And I think it's useless for all of you to care when she doesn't care. You know, you're just wasting your emotion on her. Let's see. And like we got this. Petty Little says, also, it sounds like you should go back for a month and just be able to be who you are truly. Yeah, like she won't even try it. So, of course, she put nothing but supportive comments. She probably deleted a lot of them. That's okay, Beezers. Those of you getting deleted, she actually did you a favor, believe it or not. All right, guys, that's it for this react. I'm going to go check out Chantal's newest live. So hope you enjoyed this react. Sorry about the cursing, but I don't even care today. YouTube can keep their money. Fuck them. Anyway, so I'm out. Hope you guys have a good one. If you like what you see and what you hear, please like me and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.